The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everyone, this is Chris Jenkins, and on behalf of Richard and Paul, I want to introduce Andy and John. Andy is the creator of Convertri, is here, and he's going to answer all of our questions, and John's going to walk us through a great program and show us how this thing works. And I've got my pen and paper handy, and believe me, I'm ready to take some notes. I just started to play with this software, and just each and every time I get into it, it just keeps blowing my mind. So, guys, I'm going to hand it over to you, John, and I'm going to sit back and listen.
Perfect. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much, Chris. Well, as Chris said, my name is John Botel. Just hang on 1 second. I just need to. I just don't want to. Just working out the controls of GoToWebinar. I'm just trying to get the questions up so that I can see exactly what I got. Right. I think if I do that and hit that. There we go, that's better. Perfect. Okay, first of all, my name is John Botel. I'm going to be your presenter for this Convertri walkthrough and demonstration. So let's just do some basic housekeeping stuff first, just to make sure that we're coming through. Okay, so just give me a 1 in the chat box if you can hear my audio nice and clear, please. That'd be great. Okay, lots of 1s. That's great. Perfect. Thank you so much. And give me a 2 in the chat box to see that you can see my screen, you can see the Convertri, and some ugly fella in the corner. Absolutely perfect. That's great. Let me just explain how this is going to go. We're just going to wait a couple of minutes just to let a few stragglers come in. The numbers are building all the time, and I don't really want to get into the actual demonstration until we get a few more people. Don't want anybody to miss out. So what's going to happen is I'm going to take you through the reasons of why Convertri is so clever. I'm going to tell you kind of what's under the hood, what the kind of secret sauce is that makes it work. I have to apologize for my voice. I've done, I think, 8 webinars this week, and my voice is kind of just about on its way out. I hope I'm going to last the day. At the end of the webinar, Andy developer of Convertri is here. He's going to answer any questions you have about Convertri, any concerns, any worries. He's here for that very reason, because it's his baby. He loves to speak about it. So keep your questions firing in the chat box right the way through. You have any questions, just keep firing them. And what will happen is at the end, we'll go through and answer every single one of them. Nobody will be left with any doubt or any questions by the time we get to the end. Right, just real quickly, we're going to leave it 1 more minute. Just give yourself a shout out in the chat box, and let me know who you are, where you're from. If you want to throw your domain name in there to give yourself a bit of PR, just throw it in there as well. And we'll just do it 1 more minute, and then we'll be going. Awesome, we've got David from Houston. Somebody's saying that the mic level, I think, who was saying that? And it jumped. George, everybody else hasn't got a problem with the audio, so the only thing I can think is that maybe your sound is turned down. So just double check that if you could, because everybody else is saying the audio is coming through really nice and clear. Okay, guys, who else have we got here? We got, let me just see, Caroline from Ontario. I'm going to butcher this name. It looks like Murat from San Diego, California. We've got Philip from the UK. And, okay, lots of them coming in. Also Pete from Maplewood, New Jersey. Norbert from Germany. Oh, loads of them coming in now. Excited to be here. Fabulous. Good. Right, we've waited about 5 minutes now. The numbers have built a little. So we're going to jump right into the presentation now and get going. As I said, my name is John Botel. I've been a beta tester for Convertri for the last 2 months, and I've been selling online for, God, 16 years now. So I'm kind of an online veteran. So let's get right into it. Funnels, that's what we're here for. That's what it's all about. Because funnels are the most important part of your business. They're certainly the most important part of mine. As I said, I've been selling online since 2001. I forget the time. I'm getting old now, so it's one of those times around there. I'm mainly in e-com. That's where I kind of built the base of my career. And I'd always built standalone pages up until around about 2009, 2010, when I started getting into building funnels. And that's really when my business changed and exploded. And since that time, I've done nothing but built funnels. I've never built a standalone page since, because it doesn't make any sense. You want to move your potential customer, your prospect, into becoming a real customer, and then from there into becoming a more valuable customer, and continuing up what Russell Brunson calls as a value ladder, which I like the phrase greatly. And that's what a funnel is all about. It's about getting the maximum ROI out of your potential customers. Now this is a basic example of a very basic funnel. Actually, one of the first funnels I ever built, and actually made myself and my company tens of millions of dollars with just this one really simple funnel, which is the simple site, upsell and downsell, and a thank you page. And that's exactly how funnels work and how effective they are. And now the difficulty with funnels, particularly when I first started out, is that I had to have them custom built. You know, they were tailor coded, and every time I had to build a new funnel for a new product, I had to go back to my developer and say, come on, we need to do a new funnel. And he'd go away and he'd build it and he'd integrate it with all my CRM system, and it used to cost me between $15,000 and $20,000 every time I did it. And particularly in the later stages, those numbers, because I was having to have mobile sites built as well to perfectly optimize my system. In about 2015, I started branching out my business into the IM niche. And when I got there, I noticed that everybody had this wonderful thing called ClickFunnels. And that was like, all right, this looks great, because this is kind of everything that I wanted, but without the $20,000 price tag. So I was really, really enthused with it. So I jumped right in, got ClickFunnels, started using it, and it was good. I mean, it was costing $97 a month, which in comparison to, you know, kind of 15, 20,000 is quite good. But I understand for most people, you know, particularly in the IM niche, that's, you know, $97 a month quickly eats into a budget. But that wasn't the main downside. For me, the main downside came with its inflexibility to do the things that I can do with the custom-built site. And I'll give you an example right here, because this is an example of one of my e-com sites built with ClickFunnels. And it looks okay. It's not exactly as I'd want it, but it's okay. So what I actually did, and what I would have preferred to do with this kind of thing, is I really wanted this pen to be kind of out and looking like it was kind of signing the box here. And then I would have had a group shot here, maybe an arrow hanging off the side of the page here, pointing towards this box, and maybe some elements kind of hanging off the page a little bit to create some depth to it. Because that's what I can do with a custom-built site. I can create depth of field and make the site really look alive. And ultimately, in ClickFunnels, I just find a little bit restricted in what I can do. You know, I have a vision in my head of how I want my site, but at the end of the day, I have to compromise with the block builder that ClickFunnels is. And that's the compromise you make for that kind of $97 a month. Excuse me. And as I said, it was a grid-based. It's a grid-based builder, so you have to, you know, put things essentially where they tell you to put them. And if you want something a little bit bespoke, you've got to pay a coder to come in extra to do that, which is kind of defeating the object for me. And that was one problem, and a headache. But you know, I could almost live with that. But the major problem for me is in my niche in particular, and I would imagine for most of you guys as well. 80% of my traffic is coming through mobile. Okay, that's just a fact. That's what it is. And the pages I was building in ClickFunnels, when looked at through a mobile, were loading so terribly slowly. I just know that I'm bleeding traffic. They're just leaving my potential, the option of seeing my offer and going somewhere else, because the pages are loading that quickly. So when I went to Dublin a few months ago for the marketing summit, this was the event that Convertri actually sponsored. This is actually nobody to do with Convertri. This is actually Kevin Long speaking here. But they were sponsoring that event, and Andy Fletcher was actually speaking. Didn't have a picture of Andy for some reason, don't know why. But he was telling everybody about Convertri and this incredible load page time that Convertri is going to give you pages. So immediately my kind of ears pricked up, and I said, okay, I'm gonna corner that guy. And then he carried on to say, that's not the only thing. You're going to have complete freedom in the editor. Completely freedom to put anything where you want, anything on top of other elements. So that kind of sealed the deal. At the bar that night, I got hold of Andy and, plied him with drink, a few beers, a few Jägermeisters, I think. I basically got him drunk so that I could talk my way onto the beta trial. And thankfully he agreed, and I got onto that beta trial. And it wasn't, maybe like 2 days after I got back from Dublin, I kind of started playing with Convertri. And I think probably 2 days after that, it was a revelation, literally a revelation. And I contacted Andy and I said, I'm moving everything. I decided to never build another site with ClickFunnels again. I'm building everything from now on using Convertri. I have a team now actually working on the funnels that I have in ClickFunnels to transport them across to Convertri. That's how good I thought it was. And this is even in the beta trials. And anybody that knows, has ever been on a beta trial, you know this is the time we're used as guinea pigs effectively to find all the bugs. So obviously there was bugs in it. Even with those, it was so good, so fast, so freeing in the design that I decided immediately that that was what I was going to do. Okay, but it's not even that the pages are that, so much easier to build. It's not even that the speed was so much better. The pages are actually performing better. I'll give you an example. This is a promotion I did about a month, 6 weeks ago now, for Bay Profits Academy. This was, I think, the first affiliate promotion I did using Convertri. Up until that time, my pages were in ClickFunnels still. So this was the first one I did. And I can't say for sure, obviously, that it's because of Convertri, because it may have been that the offer was just a perfect fit for my list. But what I do know is I have never fired up a leaderboard as fast. I actually had a problem with my mail for the first 2 days, was nowhere on the leaderboard, and then the next day, immediately, bam, number 5, the next day, number 1, and I never left that spot and won the leaderboard. And that was the first time I used Convertri. So, I'm drawing a conclusion that it could well have been because of Convertri. So what is it? What's the secret sauce that makes this thing work so well? What's under the hood of this kind of monster? It's something that Andy and Neil have called APT. That actually stands for Accelerated Page Technology. So what we're going to do, I'm going to ask you for you guys for a little bit of feedback now. What we've got here is we've got 2 screenshots of an identical squeeze page. Now the background of that squeeze page is using an HD image from one of the stock photo sites. It's just been dragged down, and in one of the versions it's been put through Convertri's Accelerated Page Technology, and in the other one it has not. Okay? So I come from a design background years ago. Now I'm looking at these and I'm about, 18 inches from my screen, and quite honestly I can't tell which is which. If I didn't know, I wouldn't be able to, but I'm going to leave it up to you guys. You tell me in the chat box, version 1 or version 2, which one has been compressed, version 1 or version 2? Let me know in the chat box, guys. I'm just going to keep taking a sip of water so I can make it through the presentation. Okay, thanks guys. We've got 2s, we've got 1s, we've got 2s, we've got 1s. We haven't had the usual response in yet. Let's just give it a second. We usually get it. There we go, perfect. I knew it'd come. No clue. There's always at least one. No clue. Can't tell the difference. The fact is, it's exactly the same as every webinar we've done this week. It's a 50-50 split between people saying version 1 and version 2. Okay. The truth is that it's actually version 2 has been put through the Accelerated Page Technology, but there is no palpable loss of quality. Okay, well what this means for you as page builders, as marketers, is you can use just images pulled, HD images pulled directly from stock photos and upload it immediately to Convertri, saving time and saving money just by uploading them, not having to mess with them, not having to compress them yourself. And Convertri does all the magic behind the scenes. And it's going to give you sites that look vibrant, that have depth in them, that have, I don't want to say the word excitement because it sounds a bit, the English word would be wanky, but I don't know how that would translate. But, they look beautiful. And let's have a look at how well Convertri did on this compression, because these are the two therefore results of them. You can see the original was 2.8 megabytes, and that went down to 207 kilobytes, which is pretty impressive. And the page load time at 1.2 seconds on the original, which still is not bad. I mean, it was only a squeeze page, so you don't expect it to take a long time, but 1.2 seconds is not terrible. But just look at the Convertri page, 0.4 of a second. Now, I don't know about you guys, but my reactions at my age aren't even fast enough to take my finger off the mouse in 0.4 of a second. What we're talking about here are pages that load virtually instantaneously. And of course, the benefit of that is that more people are going to get to see your offer. You know as well as I do that in today's world, people have very, very low attention spans. There's just so much bombarding them, so many different things that can take their attention somewhere else, that if your page is taking, 2, 3, 4, God forbid, 5 seconds to load, you've lost them. Like that. They're gone. They're onto something else. They're onto your competitor. You've got to have pages that load virtually instantaneously, and the formula from there becomes very, very simple. Even if Convertri's sites were identical to everything else, they weren't as they weren't more vibrant, they weren't more funky, they weren't more interesting. Even if they were exactly the same, if you're getting more people, more eyeballs looking at your offer, your conversion rates go up, which in turn means that your profitability goes up, more cash in your pockets. It's that for that very reason that I'm only ever going to build funnels using Convertri. Okay. What's even more exciting about Convertri is that because of where we are now in this launch period, you're going to be able to get into Convertri at the charter price. Okay, and that means effectively unlimited pages, unlimited funnels, unlimited building, unlimited hosting. Okay, for the one-time payment. It is an insane offer, and quite clearly Convertri couldn't continue that beyond launch. But let's actually go now. Who wants to see me actually build a full funnel? And we'll spend about, let me think, about 45 minutes. We'll build a full funnel. I'll show you all the features. Just give me a 1 in the chat box if you want to see that. I'll take another swig of water. Awesome, thank you guys, thank you, lots of response, that's fabulous. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually change screens, so just give me a second to do that. I'm going to hop over there, and if you'd be kind enough, please, to give me a 2 in the chat box when you can see the Convertri screen, just to make sure it all works correctly. I'm just seeing a comment above, somebody's like, hell yeah, let's build a funnel, yeah! I like that. Let's go build some funnels. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, as I said, I'm an e-com guy, so what I'm going to do, this could be applied to anything, but it's going to be a very simple type of e-com funnel that I would have built. So it's going to have an opt-in with a free lead magnet. It's going to have then a thank you upsell page, so I'm going to try to thank them for taking the offer, the free report or something. I'm going to try to upsell them with a cheap item. Then after that, I'm going to do a second upsell, and then I'm going to give them the real thank you page, thanking them for their order and telling them it's on the way and all that kind of stuff. Okay, this is what you're greeted with when you enter Convertri. You wouldn't have this square here. This is a test subdomain I've just set up. But so you'll be greeted with this screen, and Convertri will allow you to have as many subdomains of Convertri.com as you would like. Okay, we've got this camping test one, but if you wanted to set up a new one, you just hit the blue button. Okay, and we're just going to say Chris Webby test.convertri.com, and then we just hit accept, and then we have the new subdomain of Convertri up there. Obviously, if you want to use your own custom domain name and point that to any of the Convertri funnels, you're more than welcome to do that and encouraged to do so. But for now, we're just going to use this camping test one that I've created previously. So what we do is we click that box. And the great thing that Andy's built into this is, and I liken it to when I first used an iPhone. When I first picked up an iPhone, coming from BlackBerry back in the day, it was so simple and so well laid out that you didn't need a manual. You didn't need a help desk. You didn't need to see a tutorial. because everything was so intuitively put in the correct place that it just worked. And that's how I like to think of Convertri, because it has the same feel to me, anyway. And it just kind of, all you have to do is very simply read what's on the screen and follow what's there. It's beautifully laid out. So all we have to do is click the plus button to create our first funnel. So we do that, click the button, and then say name the funnel. And we're going to call this funnel, let me see, camping test 1. Okay, I hit enter. Now that funnel is created, and now it's telling us to create our first page. So we click the plus button. And when we do this, it's going to bring up our template options. Now, perhaps for about 80% of people listening, all you're going to do is use the templates, which is absolutely fine, of course, because they are absolutely stunning, professionally designed, beautiful templates. They really, really are something else. I know that Andy has a team of 6 professional designers that just work on these templates. They are quite beautiful. And so really, guys, when you're going through, if you're going to buy Convertri, really, really, really think carefully about buying the O2O, which is the template club. It is, it's going to help you massively. I think 10 new templates every single month, different niches, different styles. The big benefit to me on having templates delivered each month is this. Everybody has a style in designing. So if you're designing templates from scratch, okay, after a very short period of time, all of your websites will begin to look the same. If you've got different templates from different influencers coming in each month and you're using them, your websites will always look new, always look vibrant, and always give you that edge. And that's why I would do it, without any shadow of a doubt. But you can see that the stock ones here are absolutely gorgeous. But I'm not going to use that today because I want to show you all the features of Convertri. So I'm just going to go in and do a blank page, so I just have to name that. And obviously my first page is going to be the opt-in page. So I'm just going to accept that. And then it gives you our funnel view. So what we have here now is the opt-in page. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to create the whole funnel before I put any design work into it. And I'm going to let you see that and see just how easy it is to do that. So we have the opt-in page. Let me just add a new page. Now I'm going to put in the O201 page. Accept that. That's that there. I'm going to move that there. Then I'm going to put in the O202 page and drop that down there, and then I'm going to put in the thank you page and just drop that down here. Okay, actually, if you're thinking about it, I'm going to put in a downsell page as well because it just it shows the demonstration even better. I'm going to put a downsell in there. Okay. Okay, so here we have it. We have our opt-in page, our O201, O202, thank you, and downsell. Okay, and we can have multiple downsells. And this is what is so incredibly good about Convertri. The way that Andy and Neil have thought about one of the big issues with building funnels is sometimes they can become very, very complicated, particularly if they're large funnels. And Andy and Neil have this incredible overview. It's like a bird's eye view of your funnel here. This next bit, honestly, when I first saw it, blew my mind because it's so great, so intuitive, so clever, and so fast that honestly, blink and you're going to miss this. So I've had to do this once or twice before on the other webinars I've done. I'm going to give you guys fair warning because quite literally, if you blink in the next few seconds, you're going to miss this. So let me know when you're ready. You can see the screen. You're ready to watch. Give me a 1 when you're ready. Okay, here they come. The ones are coming in. Okay, so watch the screen, blink and you'll miss it. Okay, I'm going to count you down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Opt-in goes to O201, O201 goes to O202, O202 goes to the thank you, the O201 also has a downsell, the downsell goes to the thank you. There we go, we're done. So there we have it. I mean, that's how fast it is to build your funnel layout. There is really nothing. It left me speechless when I first do it, and every time I do it, it leaves me a little bit speechless. It really is that incredible. Okay, so let me get, I'm going to actually show you some other things now, because we don't need all these pages for the demonstration. So I'm going to delete some pages. You just go into the little 3-dot menu, and you can delete them. And that obviously breaks the linking there. I actually don't need the thank you page, because I'm going to show you another feature to do the thank you page. And the same with the O202 page. And I just delete that. Okay. Other things you can do from this menu here, you're going to be able to actually split test any page, which I'll show you later. You're going to be able to export any page, so you can host it somewhere else, or you can share it in another funnel. Or you can actually share, which will create a share code that you're going to be able to share with other Convertri users and share it within your own funnels. All of that available from this particular menu screen here. Okay, so let's go into the opt-in box and let's actually design our squeeze page, our opt-in page. So we go in now, and this is actually going to load up our editor. The first thing you'll notice is these two blue lines. These are an average screen width to give you a guideline of where you feel that the fall off from the edge of the screen may be. So this is just a guideline. You can certainly go either side of those. You can hang off the edges. Not a problem at all. First thing I'm going to do is show you how to put in a background image. I'm not actually going to use it for this demonstration, but it's important you know where that function is, because I know a lot of people like a big background image that's going to fill the whole page. So all we do is we go up to page properties up here, and we go down to the background image, hit the file, and that's going to open up our image library. Here, you can see I've already got some in. Adding images to the image library is really simple, drag and drop simple. You can just drag them into this white area and they'll upload automatically, and importantly compress automatically without any loss in quality. Or you can hit the add new images, which is going to open up your menu, and you can just navigate to something and it will import. So I don't want to do that. I've got all the images I need for this squeeze page right here. And if I hit that, that will drop in a beautiful high-resolution background image. Now let me just tell you guys, this image was downloaded from Big Stock, one of the stock image sites, 6 megabytes I think, which would be a killer for any page. And in fact, I did a direct comparison earlier this week with an exact comparison between ClickFunnels and Convertri, where I uploaded a 6 megabyte image to ClickFunnels and a 6 megabyte image to Convertri, published both the pages. All they had in them was this one image, and then I did a Google Page Insights to both of the pages individually. Now, ClickFunnels scored 8 out of 100. Okay, I'm going to say it again, not 80, 8 out of 100 for speed. Okay, the same image, Convertri, 98 out of 100. That's the power of that advanced page technology, the accelerated page technology that Convertri has in it. So that's how you get a background image in. Looks really nice and funky, but we're not going to actually use that today. What I'm going to show you today is how to build up in layers and in panels. So all we do is the menu's over here on the right-hand side, and you can see that you get a pop over to let you know exactly what each icon does. So first of all, we're going to drag an image in, just like that, and it opens up our library, and I want to have that image. Okay, so that brings in the image, but it's clearly too small for the page. And we can obviously go off the top of the page as well. You see, I can make it disappear if I want. I want it about there, so I lose a little bit at the top. But it's not wide enough. And for that very reason, Convertri has this lovely little icon on the left that gives us a full width. So I can just hit that. It goes full width of the page. And then I can just stretch it down like that. And now we have a lovely background image in a panel. I want to finish off the bottom of this for something that I would probably put my terms and conditions in. I'm not going to do that today, but if you wanted it legal, you'd want your terms and conditions and privacy policy and all that. And it's great. You can do that with things like panels. And you see the panel icon here, you just drag it in, make it go full width. Again, you go up to the little 3-dot menu for the properties, and I can change the background color and make that a kind of a charcoal color, maybe a little bit thinner than that, something like that. Okay, so that's what we have so far. I'm again going to use the layering abilities in Convertri to build up this page. So I'm going to drag another layer on top of the image. This time I'm going to make it bigger. And then I'm going to change the properties. And I'm going to make this one black. And then I'm going to change this is great, the opacity. So I can make that a really kind of cool, funky, modern looking kind of panel there. And I'm just going to select that. I have an OCD thing about corners. All my corners have to be rounded. So if this presentation runs long, I apologize, but that's because I have to have round corners. And there we go. So now we have the beginnings of kind of a structure of what looks like quite a nice looking squeeze page in the camping niche. But we need a headline. And all we have to do, exactly like we've done everything else, is build up the layers again. This time a text layer is going to be dragged on top. Okay, I'm not the world's greatest copywriter, but I'm just gonna put something in here. Let's go with something like free report. Hang on. Free report reveals the 50 top secret camping locations you never knew existed. I don't know, something like that. You know, as I said, I'm not the world's greatest copywriter. It's not bad. Okay, so fonts. First of all, we can import as many fonts as you can shake a stick at. Up here at the top, we have manage fonts and import them, and we can import Google fonts. And anybody that knows Google fonts knows that there seems to be a never-ending supply of Google fonts. So you can see them all here. There's tons and tons and tons and tons of them. And if you want to import any particular one, you just hit the icon to the right, and that will import it. Now, I have everything I need already imported, so I can just highlight the text. I want to use cabin, and I want to change the font color to white, and I want to make the font size around about, oops, managed to screw that up. I'm going to make the font size 36. There we go, and then I just stretch that out, and obviously I want it centered to make it look nice, and I'm just going to drop that up there, like that. Okay, as with all font editors, as you would expect, it does the usual suspects. You can bold it, you can indent it, you can underline it, you can put links in it, obviously. I don't need any of that. Another feature that you maybe don't see in every font editor is the strike-through. Now, we know as internet marketers how much we love using our strike-throughs, particularly in prices. So that's in there, really easy to do. You don't have to do any overlays with graphics, although you could do if you wanted to. So there we go, we've got our headline. Now I'm going to import a video, because I think a video squeeze page is going to work very well for this. I have a couple of different options with video. We can use the HTML element that I can just drag in on page, like that. And this can be used for any HTML element that you want. It can be used for countdown timers, it can be used for forms, it can be used for videos, or you're hosting Vimeo or something like that. It can be used for so many different things. Anything that has HTML, you can pretty much bring it into the page using that element. But I actually have a Vimeo code here somewhere. Let me just find where I have it, video embed code there. I just need to grab that code that I've pre-done. We just hit the edit HTML, and we just paste the code in there and save. And then the video will populate. And that will go in there, and obviously we can resize it and do anything we want with that to make it look exactly as we want. Okay, so that's how we can use the HTML to do that. Actually, I don't want to do that with this particular one. I'm actually going to use YouTube. So we have YouTube over here. You can just drag that in. And that drags in like a standard stock icon. And we can just resize that to whatever size we actually want. I want something like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to jump across to YouTube and search for something in the camping niche. See if I can find the video I've used before. Yep, right there. It's doing very well. It's virtually number one every time. And we just grab the URL from YouTube, copy that, and we can shut that one down. And then we go across here, and all we have to do is, while the element is selected, come across here and paste it in the top left-hand corner. And you can see that Convertri automatically populates it into the editor, so we can see exactly what we're getting. And I'm going to choose to autoplay it as well, and you can choose not to. Okay, now, a couple of different things that you can do with Convertri. One of the first things is we can give a border to that really simply, just by going into the properties. Go across here, and we can just say, where's the border? There, border color. I want to give it a white border, like this, and I'm going to build up the depth of that border. There we go, and now it's got a nice border to make it pop. Okay, I'm going to show you now a couple of really cool features with Convertri before we move on. Let me just save that, and just to make sure that I don't do anything crazy. And, okay, first things first. Andy has built into Convertri this really smart technology. It's like it makes Convertri intelligent. Because what happened is, you remember how we built this page, right? We had the background image, that's one element. Then we added on another element on top, which was this box. And then another element on top of that, which is this text. And then another element on top of that, which is the video. So all of these are separate elements floating around on our page. But Convertri is so smart that it understands that if I'm on this black box, for example, the things within it probably want to move at the same time the box does. So if I go to move this box, everything moves together. Now, bear in mind, I've not grouped anything there. I've not told it to do that. But Convertri is very, very intelligent and smart and just understands that that's what it's looking for. Okay? That's one cool thing. If I want to just grab the video, I can do that as well. But it automatically knows when things are held together. Okay. Another really cool feature. Let me just grab here an image in here. I'm going to put this ugly fella on the screen. Right here. I'm going to sit him over the corner of the video. Because Convertri works on a layering effect, multi-layering, you can actually build up depth in your websites to almost give like a three-dimensional look, particularly if you're any good with graphics or shading. You're going to be able to create something that actually has depth of field in it. And I've never seen that in any stock page builder before. If somebody's building something in Photoshop and then creating it into a website, yes, you can do that. And that's why I say that Convertri really is like the best page editor you've ever seen. Okay, coupled and married with almost like a Photoshop affair to allow you to do these kind of weird layering effects to really get stunning, beautiful websites. And what's more, I mean, I can move any of these elements forward and back as well. So this image is above currently, but if I want to, I can send that image backwards behind the video, bring it forwards again. And likewise, any element I can bring forward or back through the depth of the website. And what's even more interesting is when I actually publish this, let me just save that and publish it. I'm going to call this Upsell and publish. When we look at it, you'll be able to see that the video will play despite the fact that there are images above it. I can see so many different applications for using this. You know, ornate frames around videos that you can just download from places. You know, overlaying effects on videos. There are so many different applications for this little trick that I could probably spend a whole webinar just talking about that. I won't, by the way, so you know, don't panic. So let's go back. We don't need this now. I just wanted to show you those effects that you can get just by doing that. So I'm going to delete that picture of me. I'm going to keep the video in here. And let me jump on to show you another great feature of Convertri. One of my pet hates in building websites is when I have to drag in a text element and then change the font again to the fonts I'm using elsewhere in the page. Change the size of the font, change the elements. I really, really hate that. It really, really kind of annoys me. So what Andy has here is this great feature with, if you've got any element, actually I'm just talking about text in particular, but any element at all you want to copy and duplicate, have it highlighted like that and select it. Via your Alt key, you just drag it, it automatically duplicates the text. And it's incredibly easy then to just, you know, have something like, I don't know, sign up below, you know, something like that. And I can just drop that there. So now we're really beginning to get our kind of squeeze page built up. But we're obviously missing the crucial elements of the form integration. Now, Convertri will work with any autoresponder out there, SendLane, GetResponse, Aweber, ActiveCampaign, anything that you can create a form in, Convertri is going to be able to integrate with that. Because basically you're going to build the form in your autoresponder, get the HTML code out of your autoresponder for that form, and then integrate it with Convertri that way. And the way you do that is actually go up here to this configure form area, and you can see I've got lots of forms in my form library here, but I want to create a new form. And this one is going to be called Camping Forms, Camping Test 7. Okay? And all I have to do is grab the HTML markup code from the autoresponder that I got earlier. I'm just going to copy that. You guys can't see this because it's not on the screen I'm displaying, but I'm literally just copying that of a file. And then you paste it in here, create, and you'll see it come at the bottom. It's right there, camping test field. So now that's held in our library. When we want to use that with this page, we just hit the use icon on the right-hand side. And now that, that autoresponder integration is kind of sitting in the background. It's like sitting there in a waiting room, kind of saying, well, I don't really know what I'm doing here, but I'll hang around waiting for you to do something. So what we have to do now is drag in the form fields. And again, Andy has made this really easy. You have a little form menu here. You just open that up, and you just drag those in as you want them. Now, they always come in as email. That's just the default name that's on them, but you can change them to anything they want. For example, if your autoresponder was collecting name, address, age, date of birth, favorite color, favorite Star Wars character, you know, anything, whatever your autoresponder's collecting, Convertri is going to be able to, you can create those forms, those fields for it, and it's going to be able to work with it. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm just going to change the name of this one, because I just want name and email. So I'm just going to change that to name. I can also change the font to match. So, excuse me, I'm going to change it to cabin. I'm just going to reduce it ever so slightly to 18. Now, Convertri has these snap lines. So if you see as I move this along here, you're going to see the snap line pop in any second. And you know, for some reason, why is that not? There it goes. Oh, it's snapping it to the page. Anyway. If I just pop that there, and I bring this one along here, oops, and I'm making the same width. And then I just want to change that one again to having a cabin there. That's the font. I'm just going to move it down to 18. Okay, so now we have our form fields there, but they're not actually integrating with anything yet. Remember the form integration I told you is waiting in a waiting room behind the kind of site here. What we have to do is we have to open the door and let them into the main room. So what we do to do that is we have the name field here that's highlighted, and we just go up to here where it says assigned from field. And we just drop that down, tell it which field it needs to map to, and we do the same with the email, and now we're fully integrated. The one thing we're missing, of course, is a submit button. So what I'm going to do now is just very simply grab the submit button out of the form field menu, drag it in, and then I'm going to make that the same width as well. Okay, I'm quite happy with the word submit. If I wanted to change it, it would be up here. But I do want to change the font because I like my fonts matching, and I'm going to leave it like that. Now, the one thing I don't like the color of this button. I actually want it to match this tent. And that shows off another great feature of Convertri, because in a lot of other page editors, you're not able to actually see any changes until you submit something. And if you're trying to match a color to something else on the page, unless you have the hexadecimal color code of it, or the RGB color code of it, it's very, very difficult to do. With Convertri, not the case. If I just go into the properties here and change the background color to roughly an orangey tone, just find it, you'll see it actually changes in real time as I move it around the color selector chart. So I can actually kind of get exactly what I'm looking for. Speeds up page building immensely. Okay, so let me just save that and publish that. So now pretty much that opt-in page is done, so let's have a look at it.
What's up, guys?
Autoplay video. We have our terms and conditions down the bottom. It's a very, very nice looking squeeze page. Now, it took me longer because I'm demonstrating every feature going back and forth a lot. In real terms, I can build a squeeze page like this in around about 6 minutes. Probably actually a little bit less. But 5 or 6 minutes you can do a squeeze page looking like that. And yes, I know there are custom squeeze page builders out there that work on forms that you can just put in what you want and it spits out a squeeze page. That's not like this. This is bespoke. You can get exactly what is in your brain on the website. Okay? So let me just get rid of that because I want to show you yet more cool. Okay, what do you want to see first? Let me know in the chat box. Let me know. Do you want to see cool video backgrounds or really cool mobile features? Say backgrounds or mobile in the chat box. I'll take a sip of water. Okay, and the winner is mobile. I'll do backgrounds after. Don't worry. I'm not gonna leave you background people hanging. Okay, and you're right to be incredibly worried about mobile because, as I said earlier, about 80% of my traffic comes from mobile, and this was the one thing. If one thing sold me on Convertri, it wasn't the freedom. I liked it, but it wasn't the deal breaker. It wasn't the speed. I liked it, but it wasn't the deal breaker. It was this that I'm going to show you right now. Okay, I'm going to go through this in detail because one trick that I'm going to show you inside this actually increased my conversion rate by 8%. Just this one thing, doing this one thing. And I'm sure if you do it in your business, you're going to see a massive jump in your conversions as well. Okay, so Convertri has this really cool feature. And before, let me just preface this by saying most page builders today have this kind of thing where they say, we're mobile responsive. They are, and I hate them. Everyone I've used has never looked the way I want it to, and the way I expect it to behave mobile, in a mobile environment. But what Convertri do is they give you this option here to have a look at the mobile version that it's created. And we can see it's done a pretty decent job of creating a mobile version. And that's exactly what it will display like on a mobile. Okay? But it's not what I want it to display like on a mobile. Okay? It's just not, for me, it's okay, but it's not great. And I want great, and you guys should want great. You should demand great. Just because you're having something not bespokely made doesn't mean it shouldn't be great. Excuse me. So what Convertri is, and this is the thing that sold me, is this ability to be able to actually edit the mobile version without affecting the desktop version at all. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm actually changing only the mobile version while leaving the desktop version absolutely intact. Okay, two tricks for you. If you're building mobiles using Convertri, and this is kind of the only way you can do it, okay, make your buttons fatter and squatter, okay, than you would ordinarily do on a desktop. You don't get that on a desktop, it just converts it. People use their fingers on mobile, and particularly if you're me, I have big fat fingers, I need big fat buttons, and I need deeper, fatter submit fields. Okay. So I'm just going to amend this to make it exactly as I want it to display on my mobile version. And that's, okay, that's just about perfect. Now I've got it exactly as I want it to look like. Oh no, I just want to change the video slightly. I just want to get the video so it's just ever so slightly smaller so it just displays within the boundaries. There we go. Perfect. Now if you play that, it will actually go full screen anyway, so it doesn't matter. But that now is absolutely perfect how I would want it to display, with the exception of one thing. Okay, I'm going to go back to the desktop, and this is, you just don't get this anywhere. This is the coolest thing. This is the thing that increased my conversion rates by 8%. Okay, so I go to the desktop. One thing I've got to do is change the color of that button. I'll drive the text on that button. I'll drive me mad if I don't. So, and now it's white. Okay. Remember I told you could duplicate any element just by holding the Alt key and dragging it. 100% true. I'm going to do it with this button. Just Alt and drag, and now we have a copy of that button. Doesn't make a lot of sense. We've now got two copies of the button on one page. Okay, it doesn't make a lot of sense until I do this. And I change this button to tap to submit. It still doesn't really make a lot of sense. Why would you have two buttons on a page? Because Convertri gives you this cool option on the left-hand side where you want your elements to display. So I can have this element not display on desktop, and this element not display on mobile. And now, when I go back to my mobile view, guess what? I have something that resembles much more like an app than a website. And that is what increases your conversion rates. Because people like using apps on phones, they hate using websites on phones. Okay? They love to use an app. So what Convertri allows you to do, in essence, is very, very, very quickly create a custom mobile app version of your website. And nobody is doing that. And that is the most insane feature of that. That's the thing that increased my conversion rates by 8%. Incredible. Okay, so I'm just going to save that. That's the thing I wanted to show you about mobile. Okay, so what next? Background images. Okay, background images. What we're going to do here, I'm not going to get rid of the I'm not going to get rid of this background image here. What I'm going to do is, because Convertri has this layering feature, I'm just going to show you directly on top. There's this little icon here that says video, and I can drag that in here, and I can choose to send it to the back. Actually, that's no good. I need to make it bigger first. Hang on. Let me just get a hold of this one. Let me just delete this in there. There we go. Now it's at the back. Let me just bring it forward. It will work a lot better if I stick to what I know. Right, now to the front. Okay, so I'm going to actually stretch this video element so it's like full page. And then I'm going to send it to the back. Okay. Now, the video elements always come in as black boxes, because if you had a video element playing while you were trying to edit things, it would be an absolute nightmare and very, very difficult to work with. But much like the YouTube thing, all we have to do is put in the URL of where we're hosting our videos. Convertri is not going to host your videos. You have to have somewhere to host them. So I host mine on S3. So I'm just going to go and grab my S3 link. And I have it in a file here, pre-prepared for you guys. And let me just jump in here. There. Are you still not going to see anything until we actually publish it? Can we save it? And publish it. And now what you see is when we actually preview this, it's going to have this beautiful HD background playing that gives us a wonderful effect.
What's up, guys? Get ready.
Okay. Now that is a cool looking squeeze page, if I don't say so myself. Okay, that is cool. And it's going to get you cool opt-ins. It's going to get you really good loads of opt-ins, as long as your copyright is good, not like mine. But that's how easy it is to add video pages in there. Really, really simple video backgrounds. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that video element. That's not really what I want for this page. I'm just going to drop the image back in. Remember, it was this image. Go full width, put it up a little bit, drag it down here, and then what I have to do is send it to the back. And then we're back to where we were before. Okay, so I'm going to save that. I'll publish it. Just while I remember, guys, if you make a mistake, and who doesn't make mistakes? I make hundreds a day. They have an undo feature, okay? And you can go back. Andy, is there a limit to the number of spaces you can undo? I've never thought to myself before.
I think it's about 50. There definitely is a limit, but you've got to mark up like massively to find it.
I'll test those limits, don't you worry.
He does make a lot of mistakes, guys.
Yeah, I should do. So then we have this undo feature where you can actually go back in time. So if you cock something up, you can go back in time and get back to the point where you're happy with it, which is a really, really nice feature. Thank you, Andy, for adding that in there. So I think that's pretty much it for the squeeze page elements. Oh no, let me show you one more thing. Who's interested in two-step opt-in pages? Give me a 1 if you're interested in seeing 2 steps. There we go, perfect. Okay, so with the 2-step, we would obviously not want our name and email address here. We would just want the submit button. And you would have something that would be something like sign up below. And Andy's going to shout at me in a minute. I know that because there's a little bug right now in Convertri, which means that this isn't working exactly as it should do. So I'm going to show you the way it would look, and then I'm going to show you how it's actually going to work for this demonstration, just while Andy fixes this bug in a few days. So we don't need this right now. We don't need either of these 2 elements right now, so I'm going to delete those. Because now we're going to have something that looks like this. Okay, and the problem that Andy's got right now with this little bug is that if somebody hits this button while we're doing a 2-step, it tries to submit a form somewhere instead of going where it should do. So what we're going to do is we're going to pretend that this button is here. Okay, you've got a button that says sign up below here. But instead of using this button, I'm going to use an image which will actually work. So what we're going to do is we're going to drag an image in here. And unfortunately for you guys, it's going to be this image again. You get to look at me that little bit longer. So I'm going to leave that there. Just pretend that's a button. Okay, so I'm a button. Didn't come out right. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that there. Okay, this is how we do a 2-step opt-in. Okay, first thing we need to do is create a new layer. So we go over here to where a layer is, and we hit the plus button to create a new layer. I'm going to click pop. We're going to accept that, and we're going to ask it to show us that layer. Now it's showing us the layer. We can't see it because it's transparent, but that's the layer we're on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a backdrop color into this layer so that we can see it. As it's a camping theme, I'm going to go with something like a dark green, and I'm going to make the transparency something like that. Okay, and select. Okay, now remember guys, we're working with like a sheet of glass above the thing below, above the squeeze page below. So we can add things to this and not affect anything below. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a panel here. I'm going to make this, I'm actually going to make it, what color am I going to make it? I don't know. Probably white. Let's make it a white panel. Okay, again, apologies, OCD, I've got to get these rounded corners in. As I told you before, we can add border colors if we want to. We could make a border for this box and make an orange border for this one. Just increase that. So we have this little thing here. We're going to want to add some text to it, something like, sign up now for your free report. We're going to change that to cabin. Let's go 34 on the font. Oh, got to highlight it. Apologies. Do 32 is fine. We do that. And then all I have to do is go across my form. We're going to drag in a couple of elements. Like this. I'm going to call, oops, excuse me, just hit that. I knocked off the snapping, that's why it wasn't snapping before. There you go. I was wondering why things weren't snapping before, it's because I knocked off the snapping. You see these purple lines? Everything will snap together, or 10 pixels either side. Okay, and then name. And then all we need is a submit button in here. I'm going to make that the same width. There we go. Okay, I want to set the background of the button. Let's make that orange. Yeah, that's horrible looking orange. That's better color orange. Okay, we're going to go cabin again and change the font color to white. Okay, not quite. I haven't got that quite central. Driving me crazy this one. Yeah, that looks better. I can actually move that in. Okay, so now we have those elements kind of what looks like exactly like a two-stage opt-in. So all I have to do now is go back to the layers and hide that layer and disappears. Okay, now what we need to do is just affect a trigger. So remember, this is a button. This isn't me. This is a button saying opt-in now. So we highlight that. We go across to the little star, which is the triggers, and we ask it to create. Oops, I've got the. That's it, the triggers. You just hit the plus button to create a new trigger. It's a click, and on that click we want the behavior to be show, and we want it to show the pop-up. Really as simple as that. If we save it, and now we publish it, you'll be able to see that opt-in work. So we just go to the preview.
What's up, guys?
And remember, this is the button, not me. If I hit that, we get our two-step opt-in. Simple as that. Okay, that's how it works, guys. And you could have moved this opt-in box anywhere, right above the center of the screen, wherever you wanted it to be. It could have been complete freedom. That's the point with Convertri. You have this complete freedom in design. I'm running a little bit late, so I'm going to quickly knock out the next 2 pages. Because what we need to do now is we need to do our O2O 1 page. So let me just jump in there. And I'm just going to replicate this as fast as. Okay, so this is the kind of speed I would normally kind of create these in. We're going to go something like this. I'm going to drop a panel in here. I'm going to go full width. And I'm going to drop that as a charcoal color. Okay, and get rid of that. I'm going to put another panel in here. This is going to be full page panel, and I want this panel to be white, so I go into my properties, make it white. I just want a little bit of opacity in it. And of course, I've got to have these damn rounded corners. I would probably save years of my work life if I didn't have to do this. There we go. Okay, perfect. So we just want to drag a text element, and remember, this is going to be like a combination a thank you page and upsell page. So I'm going to be saying something like, thank you for signing up. Your free report is on the way. Okay, while you wait, take a look at today's specials. Okay, I'm going to just change the font to that real quick. Okay, cabin. I'm going to go 36, central. drag that across. As I said to you guys right at the beginning, I've been in ecom for an awful long time, so I tend to gravitate to building ecom things, and so that's what we're going to do here. Great thing works with any kind of O2O is a little bit of scarcity. As I told you before, if you want to use a countdown timer externally from Convertri, you can do just by dragging in the HTML element. In this particular demonstration, I'm just going to use the inbuilt one within Convertri. So I can just drag the countdown timer in here. I'm going to make it a little smaller. You just affect the date and time up here. I'm going to use tomorrow. Keep the date the same. You have the options whether you show on expiry, hide on expiry, or redirect on expiry. You can change the font, which I'll do to cabin. You can change the color if you want. I could make this orange to make it pop out if I wanted something like that. It doesn't really pop all that well. Just make it black again. You know, ultimate flexibility. And you can have the standard timer like that, or you could actually go for a more graphical timer, something like that, which I think I'll leave. And as I said about ecom, what's great about Convertri is it actually integrates perfectly with Shopify. So all you do is in your what's the word I'm looking for? The user section of Convertri, where you have all your details, you're going to be able to actually link your Shopify store in the background. And once you do that, you're going to get this little Shopify icon come up. And all you have to do is drag it into any page you build. Okay, and you can change things. You can change the button color, the background color, all that sort of thing. I'm going to leave it exactly as it is. And if you hit the cog here, you get to actually access your store and all the products there. So what I'm looking for is a really cheap item just for, you know, if they've just opted in, they want something really kind of, not even to think about to have to pay for. It's going to be so cheap, they just say, yeah, that'll look cool. And I'm going to choose this one. And that automatically brings it in like that. And if I save that screen now, and I publish it as O2O, oops, forgot to hit that, O2O1, and publish, that's now live on the web. That's how fast it is to get these things published. I can just show you like that, and it's live, ready to take orders. Okay, that's how fast it is to do those O2O pages, really, really quick. Okay, so gaining a little bit of time. Now I'm going to go back to the funnel view. Remember the overview of the entire funnel. First thing you'll notice is that the images actually come into these cards now. They're not blank. It actually shows you what you've got on each page, which is really handy for if you're doing this next feature, which is this. I'm actually going to be duplicating this O2O page to create O2O2. So all we have to do is go to the three-dot menu right here, hit the share button, highlight this code, we copy it, okay, then we're going to go back here, another three-dot button, and we import. Paste the code in here, hit OK, and now Convertri is going to actually import that same page again into the funnel. Okay, and there it is. And all we have to do then is just rename it O2O2, accept, and then we can just really quickly edit it. So we just jump in here. There we go. And this is the second option. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to change that product to a different product. So we just hit the configure, and I'm going to change it for a sleeping bag. I know I've got one in here. Something like that, that'll do. A little bit more of an expensive item, as you would expect on a second upsell. You might want to keep the timer in, but you're definitely going to want to say something like, thank you for your order. Don't forget the sleeping arrangements. Okay? Save, publish, make that one O2O2, publish. Okay, that one's now live. Let's go back again. I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to go back one more space to the actual funnel card. And I'm going to import the same page yet once more just by pasting in there, saying OK. Okay, there it is. I'm going to call this one, rename it to thanks, just like that. Let's link them up again. Let's go in here. A really good tip for anybody doing ecom, by the way, on your thank you pages, I'm just going to show you doing this. I'm not actually going to link up a video. Please drop a video in. Keep it, put a video, a thank you message from you, the owner of the company. It does amazing things for your customers. They appreciate it. They think they get to know you. It builds relationships. It makes selling to them so much easier in the future. Trust me. It's a great thing to do. Just put a thank you video from the owner of the company. They'll love you. So thank you for your orders. Our backing team are working on them now. You know, if you want to get really kind of twee, you could do a picture. You could do a video of a guy packing, and then kind of looks around to the camera saying, "Oh, hey, thanks for the order. We're working on it now." You know, that's if you really want to get twee. But I think something coming from the owner of the company does wonders for your business. Okay, and you may want like social sharing buttons down here, help go viral. To do that, you would just drag in an HTML element, go to Facebook, get the code for the Facebook share button, put it in there, or the Facebook comments box, put it in there. Really, really simple to do. So I'm going to save that one, publish that one. That's going to be called thanks, publish, and that one is now live on the web. So we go back to our view, everything's linked up. The only thing I'm left to show you really is split testing, and it's so easy in Convertri, it's unbelievable. All we have to do is go into the three-dot menu of any page, say start a split test, and it gives us two exact copies of the same page. We can just go into the variant B, and we can say, let's just say we could even add things here, just like in the United States. Okay, obviously I have to move some stuff around, just do that. You know, I've changed that one, save it, probably wouldn't make a lot of difference, but we don't know. That's what we do as marketers, we test, and we never stop testing. And that one's live now, and the split test is absolutely live on the web. You can see it there, and what will happen is once Convertri gets some data, here it will show you the comparisons and tell you which one is working better, and all you have to do then is choose the one that's winning, and then you can continue to split test from there. But I think, guys, that's pretty much it for the actual demonstration. Let me just jump back to my presentation screen. If you'd be kind enough to just give me a 1 in the chat box when you can see the screen again, that'd be great. Perfect. Thanks, guys. Because I'm in a slightly unique position in so much as I've used ClickFunnels from very early on, and I've been using Convertri for the last 2 months. So I'm in a unique position to be able to actually compare the two pretty easily. And the simple fact of the matter is the minimum ClickFunnels is going to cost you is $1,164 a year, and that is limited, I think, to 20 funnels and a certain number of pages. I might be wrong, but certainly it's limited in some way. For the next, what is it? No, it's less than 36 hours now. Until midnight on Saturday, you are going to be able to get in at $297 for this charter one-time payment for unlimited funnels, unlimited pages, no monthly fees, no total freedom in design. You just saw it, guys. Total freedom in design. Whereas in ClickFunnels, you're limited, man. You got blocks. You have to put things where they want you to put them. I don't know about you. Maybe it's the internet marketing, kind of mindset. I don't like people telling me what to do. I want to put things where I want them to go. And that's what Convertri gives you, this complete freedom. And these next three things, I'm just going to hit them all fast because they all lead to each other. So ClickFunnels, you are going to get slower load page times, which leads to undoubtedly higher abandonment rates, which leads to lower conversions. Conversely, with Convertri, that is not easy to say. I'm not going to try that again. You're going to get faster load page times, higher stick rates, which means higher conversions. Ultimately, more money in your pocket. But this $297 deal is only good until midnight on Saturday. Okay, that's as long as it is going to last. $297, no monthly fees, total freedom in design, fastest load page times you will see anywhere, higher stick rates, higher conversions, more money for you, and if you're buying now, you can get the incredible special bonuses that are on offer. Excuse me. And let me just jump back to the Chrome browser again so that I can actually jump to that page. Oops, I've got a pop-up there. Okay, these are the bonuses that Chris is offering. We've got video marketing, Maisie. These are all tutorial videos. Video marketing, massively important video marketing right now. It is so hot. to be able to drive traffic through video. So you're going to get the actual training course, the cheat sheets, you're going to get the mind map, you're going to get the resource report, you're going to be getting these Facebook ads. It's like the other flip side to the coin, isn't it? You've got your free traffic through your videos, and you've got your Facebook ads. So this is the training guide, again with the cheat sheets, again with the mind map, again with the resources, and then list building. Nothing is more important, as we all know in internet marketing, than building a really great list. So again, training guides, cheat sheets, mind maps, resource reports. And then, on top of all, like that wasn't enough for you guys. These guys are throwing everything. I'm going to get to the bottom of this page. I'm sure there's going to be a kitchen sink down there. Because what we got right now, these are reseller rights to the social builder campaign software. And then you've got even, that's not white label, but these ones are. You can get white label rights to resell. And you can even use Convertri to help you resell these. To resell the Squeeze Express, which is going to be a squeeze page software. And then you've got leads, right? It's a SaaS application. You're going to get white labeled rights to that. But for my money, this is the most important thing. You are going to get mastermind coaching, but this is only for the first 20 spaces, and these are only for the people who are going to buy the O2O, which is the template club. Okay, if you're going to buy Convertri, I really do recommend you buy the O2O. And these guys, I've got an amazing bonus to go along with that, and that is this mastermind coaching, but it is only limited to 20 spaces. And I know earlier this morning I saw a message that there definitely were still some available. So, and as they say here, make no mistake, when those 20 are gone, they're gone. As far as I know, there's still some available. But for my money, that is the most valuable thing of this whole offer that they've got going on.
Yeah, I think we have about 7 or 8 available right now.
7 or 8, that's it. So now is the time to get in, guys, without any doubt at all. This is the link to get it from. I'm actually going to, whoops, I don't want to do that. I'm actually going to cut and paste this. I'm going to drop it right in the chat box for you guys so that you don't have to do any cut and pasting yourself. You can just click this link and you'll be taken straight to the offer where you can pick up Convertri. So that's pretty much it, guys. We can go into the Q&A, but just let me know. Give me 3 options here. Let me know if you're going to buy, just say I'm in the chat box. If you've already bought, just put bought in the chat box. And if you're on the fence, put fence in the chat box. And Andy will be able to go down and kind of rest your mind at ease about anything. Awesome. Derek has already bought. Jamel has already bought. Benoit has already bought. This is great news, guys. Welcome to Convertri. You're going to absolutely love it. Already got it. Okay, so we've got a few fences. Okay, I'm gonna basically hand this over to Andy now, because Andy's the guy who, this is his baby. Okay, if Andy can't convince you to love his baby, then nobody can. So I'm gonna hand it over to Andy. It's all yours now.
Hey, thanks very much for that, John. Cool. I see there's a ton of people have already bought it. Thank you so much. It makes me so happy. This has been my obsession for the last year of my life. I have basically done nothing but work on this for a year, and I've had so many nice messages in the chat box from people saying, they just came onto the webinar to tell me how cool it was, which is awesome. So thank you very much. Thank you everyone that's bought it. It's awesome. We've got a question from Murat asking if I can show how to set up domains. I'm not going to do that on this webinar because we've got a couple more we've got to get to in a little bit. But I'm running two training webinars, one on Sunday and another one on Monday, which we'll record as well. And I'll cover all kinds of stuff like that. Cool, John. You say you're on the fence. What's your concern? Have you got a question that I can answer for you? Is there something you'd like to know? Neville as well. Please let me know. Let me know what your concern is. I'd love to put your mind at rest.
He wants to know if you can put a shopping cart on the page, I think, Andy.
Hi, John. Okay, so you'll certainly be able to put individual buy buttons on there. You'll probably struggle to get like a full shopping cart, like kind of Amazon experience, onto a Convertri page. So if you want the full shopping cart thing, that's not something we can help you with. if you're happy with the Neville's just said he's kidding and he's buying as he's typing it. But yeah, so if you want the if you're happy with the individual buy buttons with Shopify, which do work fantastically well, then they work straight out of the box.
I think somebody had a thing about Thrivecart the other day as well that we worked out that has an HTML element that we just drag in.
Yeah, Thrivecart and WooCommerce as well, both work with the custom HTML element.
Dana's asking if they can protect pages from downloads.
Hi Dana. We don't support it natively, but one of our users has, in fact, one in the beta group, and I'll make sure it gets shared with everyone, has already published a little how to protect your download pages using a WordPress plugin. You can already get we provide a WordPress plugin, so you can publish your pages to WordPress via an iframe, and using that, it's very easy to create a protected download page if that's what you want to do.
I think the mobile.
Chris,
I think the mobile thing was the coolest, man. That just blew me away. Being able to put show the button different and everything. I didn't know you could do that. It's awesome.
It's really cool. I loved working on the mobile. It was the bane of my life for about a month. But when we finally saw it working, it was really worth it. Sorry, Chris. Neville's got a question. Just wants to check the.
Yeah, I'm looking to be sure. I think that's right, but I'm double checking. I'll tell you in a second, Neville.
Got a question about Magento-based e-com sites. You can Magento has kind of exportable, embeddable buy buttons as well, which you can bring in using the custom HTML element. Pretty much any of those services provide ways to get buy buttons onto other pages.
I sent you the link, Neville.
Yes, there will be a replay. We've got this set to record, and as long as GoToWebinar doesn't mess up, we're good to go.
Yeah.
We did actually lose one on Tuesday. I did. John did the same presentation you've just seen for about an hour, and I then did 2.5 hours of Q&A, and GoToWebinar decided not to record it. I was a very unhappy person.
On the OTO bonus, Jay, you can just on that the download page in there, you can send your details into the support desk. If you have any trouble or whatever, you can contact any of the three of us. We'll make sure you're taken care of.
Yes, PayPal buy buttons work great. In fact, we're selling Convertri. Everything you see in the funnel for Convertri is built with Convertri. There is absolutely no cheating in there. We sell through PayPal, but with a service called JVZoo sat on top of it. But ultimately, it's just a PayPal buy button, so you can see that working.
John's ready for ongoing training with all caps. I'm just he probably had the cap button down.
Yes, definitely to the ongoing training. So there's if you want to check out the help videos we've already made in answer to people's questions, you can check out help.convertri.com/help-videos. Then if there's stuff not covered in there that you'd like help with, contact support@convertri.com. And I also run regular training help, show up, ask me questions type webinars. I'll be doing 2 of them, one this Sunday and another one on Monday, and then regular ones after that. So there'll be sessions where you can just show up and be like, "Hey Andy, I broke a thing," or I saw that this template has done this effect, but I can't figure out how to get it, or I'm having difficulty setting up this domain. Is there a problem? And I'll sit there on a webinar and happily help you work through that stuff.
I guess we got one more here. I know you guys got to hurry and get off. There's a pure HTML built or is in WP CMS platform. Not sure. You might.
Pure HTML pages. We provide a WordPress plugin to help you get your pages to display in WordPress, but other than that, we've got nothing to do with WordPress. Everything that's generated is our own HTML published to the Content Delivery Network Fastly.
Yeah, because they would load much slower with WordPress, that's for sure.
Yes, they would, and as you've seen, we really like page load speed. It's our obsession. Hi, David. We don't support membership sites yet. That's not part of the package. Hi, Sandy. Sandy asks if you can make full business websites with this. You can, but I should put one disclaimer on this. At the moment, you'll need to recreate, like most business websites will have a shared, there'll be a navigation menu that's repeated on each page. At the moment, you will have to create that and then duplicate the page to get it on each one, and updating it can be a bit annoying. So we're working on what we're calling shared elements. So you can put the shared menu at the top of each page, and then you only have to update it once. So you absolutely can make full websites. I don't think I'd want to try and make like a 1,000-page website in Convertri, but certainly regular business websites very easily. And then updating them will be made easy once we've got the shared element stuff as well.
Can I just jump in there quickly, Andy? Because that's another thing about ClickFunnels that has always driven me mad. The fact that I've got to, with my terms and conditions on every new page I build, I have to then put in my new terms and conditions on every single new page because they don't have this shared element. Now I know you guys don't, but you guys are doing it, in the next week or so or something.
Yeah, that's been. I have to say we've done quite a lot of these webinars this week, and that has to be like the #1 requested feature. So we've got the team working on that already. Cool. Thanks, Raymond. I'm glad you're in. Is there anyone else still on the fence? Please feel free to type fence into the chat box again. I'm happy to talk you through anything that's concerning you.
Now's your chance, everyone, because Andy's and John got to run, so I know they're down to the wire here.
Yeah, we've got to do another 2 of these tonight. Well, I've got to do 2. John's only got to do 1 more, I think.
Oh, well, don't forget your hot tea, John. Somebody said that earlier.
Yeah, one earlier. I think I'm going to grab another.
John really deserves it.
All right, everyone. Be quick.
Awesome. I think we might be to the end of the questions.
Yeah, you might have made it. Uh-oh.
Oh.
But one last one here, it looks like.
Okay, so first of all, to put 50 gigabytes, so the question is, what happens if you go over the 50 gigabyte a month limit? First of all, to put 50 gigabytes in kind of like a more songs on an iPod type perspective, 50 gigabytes is enough for like 100,000 typical squeeze page views, more if they're quite light squeeze pages. And we do optimize the hell out of the images. For bigger sales pages, it will be less page views, obviously, but 50 gigabytes is an absolute ton. To give you an idea, we have had a ton of traffic come to Convertri and our funnel. The pages are huge, and I don't think we've got near the 50 gigabyte limit. If you go over it, you can buy blocks of 50 gigabytes for another $25 a month, but don't expect to unless you drive a huge amount of traffic.
Yeah, that's a crazy amount.
It is purely there, basically just to stop. We've had a few lovely people sign up and obviously try and abuse us a bit. We had one guy try to access his account on Fiverr and sold 500 people on it or something. It was very annoying. We had another guy. So when we say you can have unlimited subdomains on convertri.com, we didn't mean please sit there 24 hours a day registering every word that you can think of, which we've had one guy do. He must have been sat there literally doing nothing else for the last 2 days. He's registered 1,430 something.
Oh my word! Wow. Can you get the can you get that
read
last
later.
can you get that last one there? I think it's important. I know you got to hurry. Is it?
No worries. Yes. Hi, there's a question about SEO options that make it better than lead pages. So we support adding all of your standard meta options that you want to add into the headers, all of the social graph stuff that Google loves at the moment. So your Facebook Open Graph stuff, Twitter cards, all of that stuff. But the key thing that makes us better than anyone at the moment for ranking pages is the page load speed. Google loves fast loading pages, and nobody beats us on the page load speed. That's the best thing we've got going for us for SEO.
Well, I can do, please see, page bonus. Oh, I don't know what that is. Well, I know you guys got to go because I know you got to have a little downtime in between. I know you got another one starting, so we'll go ahead and wrap this up. But I really want to thank y'all for coming on and everything, and it was great. I loved every minute of it, man. It was an awesome presentation, John. And Andy, you got an incredible software here.
Cool. Thank you very much, Chris, and thank you everyone for coming along and seeing my baby.
So we'll say goodnight, guys, and thank you all for coming too and showing up. And hopefully when I hit the close button, we will get a replay. So if for some reason you don't get it, you can shoot me or Richard or Paul an email, and we'll try to shoot it over to you if you want to look at the demonstration again. So as for that, good night.
Cool. Thanks, everyone.